All right, for today's practice, have one or two blocks if you have them. Books will work just fine, and have a blanket or a towel. We will start using the blankets or towels right away, and this is how we'll use them. We'll use them for a little chest expansion. Just in case you're wondering, my yoga mascot, Spirit, is in the other room napping. She's found a she kind of rotates like what her favorite cushion is. So right now her favorite cushion is one of the couch pillows that's laying flat. So we'll see if she decides to come visit us today. I was teaching a private the other day, and we were doing a chair sequence, and I bent over in the chair, and she hopped on my back. I was like, okay, this is yoga with cats. All right, so as you grab your soft item, your blanket or your bolster, we'll take it and roll it up. Now, depending on the thickness, you may find that it works better rolled partially or all the way. So there's a little bit of adjusting and fine tuning that you'll do so that you can custom fit it to your body. And you'll lay that down on your mat. And then I'm aiming as I get ready to lie down, I'm going to try and have the roll right on my shoulder blades so that when I lie down over it, I feel that my shoulder blades are kind of like right over the top of it. And in my case, the blanket roll also kind of pokes out from under my armpits. If your blanket is underneath your arms rather than your armpits, chances are it's going to not open the chest. It's going to kind of push you and lift you into roundedness. And we have enough of that already. It's not that there's anything inherently wrong with it lifting you. You're not going to hurt anything. But we spend enough time, especially right now, curled into a fetal position, either by choice or chance. The arms go where they're comfortable. I'm going to take my arms in a cactus or goalpost position. Your legs also, however they're comfortable. I find that for me, bending the knees works nicely, but you could just as well have the legs stretched out straight. If your chin is lifted up and your head is tilted, like you're looking behind you rather than up to the ceiling, you can add a little extra support beneath the head as well. And breathe. Your mission here is breathe. And as you breathe, let the body start to settle over the props. A little bit like if we were using like a foam roller or something like that, or one of the tune-up balls. Often there's a bit of initial like, ooh, the body's like, ah, what's that? And then if we linger a while and let everything be, the body starts to find its way over and around the props. Breathing in, breathing out. And let the head rest. Let the muscles along the back of the neck be long. Allow the support, the lift of your shoulder blades to open up some space across the upper chest, front body. This might also give a subtle sense that there's some spaciousness in the abdomen as well. Use that. Use that to your benefit as you breathe here. Stay right here. Breathing in, breathing out. This chest expanding position, in addition to the benefits of opening up some space so that we can sit tall, stand tall, has an energetic effect of lifting our energy a bit and sometimes lifting our mood as well. So it's a nice pose to have in your bag of yoga tricks. Now we'll keep that support underneath the shoulder blades, but we'll work a little bit differently around it. Bring your hands behind your head, and they can rest on, if you've got your head on a block, that's fine. You can bring your hands behind your head resting on the block as well. And at first, without really moving anything but engaging the abdominal muscles, take a few breaths where each time you exhale, you're pulling your belly button towards your spine, tucking the tail a bit. Inhale gradually, relax that effort. And just like that, start tuning into the rhythm of your breath. Exhaling, the belly is zipping up and the tail is tucking under some. Oh, and this, if your legs are straight, go ahead and bend them for this. It'll allow more room to maneuver the pelvis. Pull the belly button in, tuck the tail. And then relax. So this part of the movement will continue, but we'll add something for the upper body to do as well. So the next time that you exhale, still abdominal muscles engage and tuck under, but also start to peel your head up off the mat. So it's like a slow motion sit up, and then slowly, slowly, slowly lower yourself back down. Inhaling here and exhaling, zipping up the belly and peeling yourself up. It's kind of like doing a sit-up over like an exercise ball, where you get that extra bit of like stretching out some of the muscles, like the rectus abdominis, those front ones, as you come down. Exhaling, zipping up the belly and peeling up. Take your time, pausing when you're lifted, and then taking your time on the way down. So we're strengthening and lengthening at the same time. Exhale, pull the navel in and peel yourself up. Slowly curling down. Just like that. Zipping up, peeling up. Nice and slowly lower down. One more time. Lift and hold this time. Keep breathing while you're lifted. Nice slowly lower down. Relax the upper body. You can release the hands. Heel toe the feet a little wider apart. While we're here, take a few windshield wiper movements with the legs. I think it's interesting how it feels across the shoulder blades as I rock. So see if there's a little extra movement there. Think of it like a massage for your upper back. When you're ready, bring the knees over to one side. Any side will do. And lift yourself up, moving the blanket out from underneath you and coming onto your back once again. So as you come onto your back now, draw the knees in, rock a little bit. Notice how the mat and the back body feel a bit different in this new position without the blanket underneath. And place the feet down for a moment. And let's take the right leg up in the air. Rotate the ankle. Rotate the ankle in the air. And go the other way. We're going to keep it simple today. Put that foot down. Take the other leg up in the air. Rotate the ankle. And then go the other way. Touch the foot down. Bring your right knee into your chest and circle your knee around. Make generous circles with or without the hand. Go the other way. And touch the foot down. And then the other leg, circle the knee around. Same thing, take your time, generous circles. Go the other way now. Touch the foot down. Bring your right leg into happy baby. Holding behind the thigh or up on the shin or the foot, wherever it's comfortable for you. Add a bit of rocking while you're here. And a little extra, especially since we're doing this one leg at a time, a little extra like pulling the thigh to the outside of the chest. Like how close can you get the knee to the floor? And then what do you notice when you're here? What do you feel stretching, or does it feel constricted in the hip? If it's crowded in the hip, don't push into it. But if it feels like extra stretchy, maybe in the back of the thigh or somewhere else, go ahead and stay there and breathe. Now from this position, extend your right leg. So we're adding an extra stretch to the back of the thigh. It need not be straight. Remember, we've got some hamstrings across the knee and others that don't. Extend the leg so you're like, ooh, that's interesting. And then bend the knee a bit more back to the happy baby position. And just like that, easing into a straighter leg until you feel some extra sensation of stretch, and then bending the knee again. We'll come into the stretch and stay there this time. And again, you might be holding the thigh, you might be holding the ankle, the foot, the whatever works for you. And gently release. Touch the feet down and rock both knees over to the left. You might walk your right foot a little further to the right to make more room in the front of the right thigh. You might reach your right arm overhead as well. And breathe into the space in the right side of the body. Get a little extra quad stretch later. This will start to create some space there. Gently release, come back to center, walk the feet in, and now take happy baby with the left leg. Holding however you like, rocking gently while you're here. And then just see if in your happy baby there's a little more room to bring the knee, the thigh down closer to the floor. Explore that. Again, if it feels pinchy, don't lean into pinchy. Do feel free to lean into something that feels like it's stretchy. Meaning if it's like sharp and in one spot, that's the kind of thing we'll give some room to. And now start to straighten the leg a bit more until you're feeling some stretch. Slowly bending the knee and then extending the leg until you feel the stretch. Do that a couple more times. Take your time and feel the movement. So it's not just get to the stretch and get it over with. There's more than that. It's building this gradual progression. Because here's the thing, when we're stretching muscles, in several hours the muscles will, if they've stretched during our session here, several hours from now, they'll gradually kind of shorten up, right? And then the next day we're like, hey, I feel like I'm back where I started. Well, kind of. If we are working and we're really trying to like go for it, maximize our stretching, it's easy to push too hard, and the little sensors in our muscle fibers get it's literally like an alarm is set off, and they're like, oh crap, this is too much, and then they tighten up, and so we are fighting against ourselves, fighting against our own muscles. But our strategy instead, release that, bring both feet down, heel toe the feet out, and tip the knees over to the right. So as the knees tip to the right, if you want, walk your left foot out to the left a little more, reach your left arm overhead. If instead our stretching strategy is, well, how can I get the muscles, instead of like pushing hard and freaking them out, can I kind of slowly, gradually convince them that it's okay without the freak out part? That's really what our approach is like. We're easing into the stretch progressively, little bit by little bit, so that the muscles get used to getting longer without setting off the alarms. Breathing in, breathing out. Take another breath there. And gently release, come on back to center, walk the feet in. Draw the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. And touch the feet down. Let's take the legs up in the air. So if the hamstrings are tight, Leave a bit of a bend in the knees. If the hamstrings are very comfortable with the legs straight, go ahead and straighten the legs. As long as the legs are more or less vertical, the ankles are above the hips rather than out here. Right? We'll start here. Breathe. Take your left arm and reach up your right leg as high as you can reach or as close toward your foot as you can reach, peeling up. And then slowly lower down and change sides and peel your way up as you reach across. And slowly lower down. Let's do that again. Reach across, peel up, and slowly lower down. Take your time so that you feel we did just lifting a little earlier. This time with this movement, we're adding some rotational movement, waking up the internal and external obliques. Just like that. One more visit to each side. Bend the knees, touch the feet down to the mat. Take windshield wipers at your pace. Deep breath in, through the mouth, let it go. All right, we'll take the legs up the same way, but we'll do a little something different with them. So legs up in the air. From here, zip up the belly. Keep your torso as steady as you can. Pull your navel in towards your spine. And slowly, slowly, slowly lower one leg. And then lift it. Keep the hips as steady as you can. Keep the pelvis as steady as you can. So we're aiming lower the other leg and then lift it up. So both legs are up and then one leg goes down while the other one stays still. And you lift up. And our aim as one leg at a time is journeying down and coming back again is to zip up the belly strongly. Hug the outer hips in. Now, leave the right leg up and let the left leg come as low as it goes. Maybe, actually, let's choose. So let's bring the left heel down to the mat, and if the right knee needs to bend in order to facilitate that, let the right knee bend a little bit. Reach your arms first up toward the ceiling. Keep your abs on, and slowly see if you can keep your shoulder blades and your back in the same spot. Don't let your back lift up off the mat as you reach your arms overhead behind you. Breathe here and then take up some nice space with the arms reaching back and the leg reaching forward. Inhale and exhale. Release the arms. Hug your right knee into your chest. Hug it in, and rock while you're here. Bring both knees into the chest. With the knees side by side, circle them around. Reverse direction. Come back to center. And from here, send the left leg up and the right leg down. And breathe here. And once again, if it's a triage situation, we will choose, and we could choose just as well, we could choose to straighten the lifted leg and bend the lower leg. But for right now, if one knee is bent, it's the one that's up in the air. The bottom leg will be straight. Take the arms, reach up toward the ceiling first, zip up the belly, keep the back just as it is on the mat, not lifting up at all as the arms go overhead. Ooh. Breathe here. Long spine, zipped up belly, active legs. But most of all, the breath flowing in and flowing out. Flowing in and flowing out. And gently, gradually bring the arms down and bring the left knee into the chest. Give it a hug. Rock a little here. Bring both knees into the chest. This time, circle the knees in opposite directions. And reverse.
Let me know when we get there, if we get there.
Touch the feet down.
Let me know
Rock
when we
over
get
to
there.
one side. Pick a side. Any side will do. As you come over onto your side, start in a fetal position.
In the dark,
And then support your head however it's comfortable for you, with your arm or with a pillow. Reach your top hand for your shin, ankle, pant leg, whatever you can reach back there. Feel free to use a belt if the foot and the hand are not quite touching yet, or if the clothing doesn't help out. Now from here, before you put any kind of juiciness into it, first remember what we talked about in stretching and our strategy. Slow and steady easing into it helps convince the muscles, if you will, helps convince them that it's safe to stretch. Zip up the belly and start to slowly bring the leg back. And try and keep the knee, don't point it up to the sky, but keep the thigh bone parallel to the floor. That way we'll get the stretch right down the front of the leg. You might engage the glute on that side. See if that's useful for you. Breathe in, breathe out. Hip flexor stretch, front of the thigh. Gently release. While we're still on this side, circle the knee around. The hip can move. This is for mobility. Go the other way. So they're knee circles, but in the process, you're rocking the hip.
Come so far, there's no going
That's it, good.
back.
Now, same leg. Take the foot out in front of you. Actually, hang on. Keep the top knee bent. Stretch the bottom leg out. Let's start with the bottom leg. Roll enough forward that your top shin can come down toward the mat. And you can choose to also extend the top leg if you are so inclined. Or if it feels better in your body, keep the top knee bent. If this kind of rolled toward your abdomen position, you can always put a little support on the shin and the knee and lift it up so you're more on your side. Find what works for you. And then leave the legs however you have organized them. If you're reaching the top leg, out towards straight. Flex the foot so there's some nice energy in the leg. Also do that with the bottom leg, the one you can't see. And top arm reaches out in front of you. And we'll do a little bow and arrow with the arm. Bend your elbow. Elbow pulls back and then the arm unfurls. And gently come back, reach out in front of you. Just like that. Open up and then reach in front of you. And take your time. Now the next time that you come into the twist, you can leave the elbow bent and take a few breaths, or you can reach the arm back behind you. Either way, find a position that works to take several breaths in the spinal twist. And imagine like you could send the breath all the way up this long, twisty spiral of the spine. Take another breath. Gently bring the arm back in. Bend the knee. Bend both knees and scoot yourself over. Change sides. Coming over onto the second side, we'll start with the hamstring stretch. Bend both knees so we start in a fetal position. Support the head. Reach for the top leg with your hand. Reach for your clothing or use a belt to close the distance. From here, zip up the belly a lot. And then send the thigh away from the chest. See if you can feel this as a stretch in the front of the thigh. Breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Take another couple breaths. Remember, easing your way into it. Gently release and make circles with the knee, allowing the hip to move, allowing the pelvis to rock. Go the other way.
Now I see clearly it's you I'm looking for. All of my days.
And now, stretch your bottom leg out to straight on the mat. Keep the top knee bent. Rest the shin on your mat or on a blanket. And as you get settled in here, if you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to add reaching the top leg out, there's a little repositioning that happens in the process. Reach into both legs. So both feet are active, almost as if you could stand on either foot if we stood you around in space. And reach the top arm out in front of you. And take your time. Bend the elbow, peeling back, finding your spinal twist, opening up, and then coming back and reaching out in front of you. It may feel different on each side. So work with the edges that you find on this side. Easing into the stretch with the intention of lovingly convincing the muscles that it's okay. Letting them know, I come in peace. I come to stretch you, but I come in peace. just like that. Next time you are in the twist, stay there. You can have the elbow bent and the top hand resting on the rib cage or the waist. You can reach the arm out at any angle, really. Breathe. Breathe down the whole long, twisty length of the spine. Breathe with the legs both stretching and lightly energized. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Unwind gently. Bend the knees. For a moment, return to your back and hug your knees. Rock side to side. And then make your way over to one side by any route up to seated. We're going to switch positions here. We will join forces in tabletop, hands and knees. And as you arrive in tabletop, either hands under the shoulders, or if you're doing this on forearms, you can be on forearms. Establish your foundation, and then cat-cow. Lift the navel. Let the head relax, the neck lengthen. And inhale, arching the back. Exhaling, lifting, rounding. Inhaling, back bending gradually. And just like that, exhale, drawing in. Inhale, opening out. Good. Come to a neutral spine. Pull the right knee into the chest. Reach the leg back behind you. Exhale, pull the knee in again. Inhale, reach back. This time, step all the way through with your right foot. Scooch it, help it if it needs a little assistance, and then bring yourself to upright. Reach the arms overhead. Lift the belly, glide the hips forward, low lunge with a lifted heart. Breathe here. Stay in the low lunge. If you like, take hold of your left wrist and side bend to the right. Stretching not just the left side, but the hip flexors in the front of the left thigh as well. Come back to center, inhale. Bring the hands down. Take the leg back. Reach the same leg back behind you. Leg is straight, toes tucked under, this time for the stretch in the back of the leg. Rock forward and back so that you feel a calf stretch, maybe a back of the thigh stretch for a moment, and then push forward so you feel a toe stretch. Ooh, that's interesting. And again, leaning back, feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, and rolling to the toe stretch. Release that. Let's change legs. We'll start bringing the knee into the chest. Pull the left knee into the chest and reach back behind you strongly. Pull the knee in again and reach back. This time, bring it all the way through. Left foot comes forward and we come up into a low lunge. Zip up the belly, face forward, raise the arms overhead. And continue recommitting to zipping up the belly as the hips glide a bit forward. As you lift the navel, lift the heart, maybe the gaze toward the sky. And on this side, take hold of the right wrist and side bend to the left. Oh, breathe there. Breathe there. Work with the edges as you encounter them on this side.
Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pain.
Inhale, come to center to upright. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step the left foot back and straighten it out behind you. Come into the toe stretch, calf stretch. Rock forward and back with the leg. Rock back and stay there a couple of breaths. Can you feel the stretch in the back of the leg? And then roll forward so you feel it in the toes. One more time into the calf stretch. Breathe into it. And then to the toes. Release that. Take the knees wide. Lean back in child's pose, but this will be a kind of like a sidewinder snake child's pose, if that makes sense. You kind of side bend while you're in child's pose. Reach one arm, reach the other arm. The ribs kind of go to one side and then over to the other side. Good. Still starting with a like child's pose base. Dive your left arm underneath. Make a twist out of this. So it's kind of like shoulder thread the needle, but from child's pose instead of with the bum up in the air, which is the way we would more typically do this. So this is for the spinal twist. Breathe here. Unwind. Dive the other arm through. Switch sides, twisting to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. And gently release. Come back to your child's pose at center. Take a few breaths. And walk your hands in some. Come to hands and knees, our tabletop position. Shrug the shoulders down. Tuck the toes underneath. Zip up your belly and lift the knees and hips. Come into downward facing dog. And as you arrive in down dog, pedal the feet in place. Bending one knee, lowering the other heel. And now lift up onto the tiptoes of both feet and slowly lower your heels toward the mat. They may or may not touch the mat, but bring them as low as they are willing to go today. Press into your hands, lengthen up along your spine. Tops of the thighs are reaching behind you, up and back behind you. Now, have the weight as evenly as you can in your hands. Pull your right knee into your chest and come into a push-up. Now shift back into down dog and raise the right leg behind you. Pull the knee in, come into a push-up. Up and back with the leg. This time we'll step through. Help the foot if it gets stuck. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Slowly come up, and as we do, bend the back knee. Breathe while you're here. Raise the arms overhead. Inhale and exhale. We're going to stay in this bent knee crescent pose. Take hold of the left wrist and add a side bend. So similar to what we did when we were down low, but adding some extra strength and balance challenges. Come back to center, inhale. Bring the hands down. Step the right foot back. Come to down dog. Stay there. Breathe. Shift forward to your push-up. Bring your knees down. come all the way down to your belly. Stretch your legs out. Zip up the belly, tops of the feet on the mat. A low cobra. Heel the chest forward and up. And then lay it down. And do that again. Keep the abs on, keep the glutes active, peel up. And lower down one more time. Peel up, this time we'll stay. If you'd like to press into the hands and lift up and peel up a little more of the abdomen, go ahead. And then slowly, slowly, slowly lay yourself down. Press into the hands, either knee push-up or regular push-up. And then downward facing dog. Find your down dog. Feel free to adjust your feet. Press into the hands, lift the hips. Tops of the thighs reaching up and back. Good. Press into the hands as evenly as you can. Pull the left knee into the chest, come into a push-up. Take the leg up and back, down dog. Pull the knee to the chest, push-up. Up and back, down dog. This time we step all the way through. If the foot gets stuck, help it. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Bend the knee, the back knee, as you slowly come up. Keep zipping up the belly. Abs are on. Take hold of the right wrist. Side bend to the left. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come back to upright inhale. Bring the hands down to the mat, exhale. Step back into a push-up. Slowly lower down. Feel free to put the knees down first. All the way down, just one cobra push-up. Abs on, glutes on, peeling up. However high you want to come. And slowly unpeel yourself. And tuck the toes underneath. Knee push-up. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. From your down dog, walk your hands back towards your feet. Hang here. Breathe. Press into your feet, slowly come up to stand. Organize your feet underneath you and stand tall. Lifting the navel, lengthening the crown of the head, rooting down with the sitting bones and the heels. Arms at your sides. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, fold down low. Half sun salute, Ardha Surya Namaskar. Halfway up on the inhale. Fold down on the exhale. And up we go. Inhale, zip up the belly. Hands to the heart, exhale. One more time, circle the arms around you. Inhale. Folding down, exhale. Halfway up on an inhale. Fold down again, exhale. And all the way up, press into the feet, zip up the belly. And hands to the heart. Release the arms. Take both arms up overhead. Take hold of your right wrist and side bend to the left. Rooting into the feet, lifting the navel, breathing into the side stretch. And up we go. Change sides. Breathe here. Send your roots deep into the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And come on back to center. And release. Roll your shoulders up and back, down and around. All right. So now, starting from up high and tilting kind of like it was Albert the Dunking Bird when I was in Brother Hinger's 7th grade science class. You may or may not have had a similar demonstration. It's a thing about fluid dynamics or something. I can't remember what it was, like how the experiment worked, but I totally remember the bird. So if you have a block, it can be useful to have a block for your foot. It gives you a little bit of clearance as you start to swing the other foot. It is not mandatory. And if you're feeling kind of unsteady, there may be no reason to use the block. So let me just show how you'll use, if you're using a block, you're standing up on the, let's say, the left foot. The right foot is kind of free. And you start to come forward and then come back. And that's why you can just as easily, you need to hike the hip a little bit so you clear the foot. Right? Forward and upright. Reach back with the back leg as the torso comes forward. Just that. And you decide how close to horizontal you get with the torso and the leg. Zip up the belly, tilt forward, and come upright. Now the next time that you tilt forward, stay there, wherever there is. If you want to move the arms into a different position to add challenge, go ahead. Some options: hands to hips, hands at namaste, arms to the sides, or if you want to really add challenge, arms reaching out in front of you. Breathe here, breathe here, breathe here. Now slowly, slowly, slowly. You're still reaching into the back leg, but you're also lifting up high. Once you're all the way up, shake your legs out and release. All right, let's go to the other side. Same thing here, start small, other foot, like Albert the Dunking Bird. Tip forward and back, or like a very cockeyed teeter-totter. Breathing here. And the next time you come into the pose and stay there. Breathing in, breathing out. Arm position of your choice. Reach long and come up. Shake your legs out. Feet a little wider once you come up. And we'll fold forward. A little bit of bend in the knees. Let the torso hang over the legs. You can leave the arms hanging. You can hold the elbows if you wish. Place the left hand down on the mat. Bend the knees if needed, if the hand isn't quite touching the mat. And turn this into a twist. Turn your chest to the right, to the right, to the right. Reach the right arm up if you want. The knees can bend, it's fine. We're after the spinal twist. And come on back to center. And change sides. Twist. Rotate the chest. If you want, reach the top arm up. Breathe. 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 Unwind, come back to center. Press into your feet. Slowly ease your way to upright. Circle the arms. Inhale. Hands to the heart. Exhale. Let's have a seat. Have a seat and stretch your right leg out in front of you. Left knee goes out to the side, so we're setting up for Janu Shirsasana, which means knee to head pose. Don't take that too seriously. From sitting here, if your leg wants some support, the bent knee, go ahead and put something under it. If you're comfortable, stay right there. Lift up, tilt forward, and listen. Remember that, like not listen to me, but listen to your body. Remember what we talked about earlier, that strategy of easing gradually into the stretch so as not to cause alarm in the muscle fibers. Think of that when you're listening to the muscles in the back of the straight leg as you come forward. If they're yelling and screaming, they're panicking. Don't make them panic. Don't freak them out. Dial it back so that they can get used to the sensation. Your body gets used to the sensation of stretch, and we train our body to recognize, oh, this stretch is safe and it's okay. And then we keep our word, right? By not like doing anything sudden to intentionally freak things out. Now, if you feel too much, say in the low back instead, if it's pulling too much there, also honor that. The guideline applies everywhere in the body, not just to our very focused on, highly talked about hamstrings. You can have your hands on the floor, on your leg, on your whatever. And take a couple deep breaths to finish out on this side. Really stretch out the breath. And gently come on up. Bring the knee in and change sides. Knee goes out to the side, support it if it wants support. Sit tall, nice and long. Yeah, and then watch the angle of that stretched out straight leg. Don't let the foot kind of fall out to the side. Keep the leg in neutral so the toes and the foot are directed straight up. Yeah, that's it, exactly, good. And then come on back. Oh, good, Connie's back. I saw you freeze earlier. I'm glad you made it back. All right, come forward in your hamstring stretch. Listen the whole time to your body. Relax your neck, jaw. Breathe here. The hands can go to the floor, to your leg, to your foot only if that's a manageable reach, right? If the alarm bells go off when you try to reach the foot, listen to the arm bells. Alarm bells. I don't know what an arm bell is. Right, when our competitive nature, our ego kind of gets the best of us, We can blast past the happy, safe, useful portions of the practice in favor of like attaining some arbitrary goal, and it serves us better if we feel what we're feeling. All right, nice and slow. Ease your way to upright. Bring the knee in. Bring both knees in. Rock a little seated windshield wiper before we lie down. In this seated windshield wiper, take the knees way over to each side. Way over. Yeah, take your time with it. Yeah. Let the thigh bones really move in the hip joint. Good. One more visit to each side. When you're even, come back to center and come down onto your back. Let's find a hip stretch of your choice. So if you like to have the right leg crossed over and do thread the needle, you can lift the left foot in the air, reach through and hold behind the left thigh. That is but one of many options. Or we've been playing a bit with hip extension in one leg and flexion in the other. And so if you want to do that, turn this into sleeping pigeon. The hands are holding the crossed over shin, and the other leg stretches out. See. Investigate, explore this in your body, and see, do you get the stretch in the outer right hip? Maybe there's some other things going on too, but since this is intended as a hip stretch, are you getting that? Our priorities are, it may sound weird, but our priorities are actually the same as like if we were, like when you hear about research for vaccines, like first, figure out is it safe? Second, does it work? So first, when you're in the pose, is it safe? Is there some place that hurts right now that I need to attend to? Second, is it working? Is it effective? Am I getting the hip stretch if we're in a pose that's intended as a hip stretch? And then the third level for our yoga purposes, like what else do you notice is going on? All right, gently release, release, release that side and change legs. Other leg crosses over, breathe. Either reach through behind the thigh, or if you're exploring the sleeping pigeon variation, holding the crossed over leg with both hands and reaching the bottom leg out long. Either way is fine. First, does it feel safe in the body? Is there any area that's giving, setting off alarm bells that need attending to? Second, is it effective? Do you feel the hip stretch? Third, is there anything else that you notice going on? And that anything else may be something you choose to breathe into and feel, or it may be a slight, it may cause you to take action and slightly adjust your position. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, and breathe. Gently, gently, gently knees in and circle them any way they want to circle. Reverse. And take a twist of your choosing. Last spinal twist. Let it be something that really feels good in the body. Take your time with the inhale. Easy exhale. Take your time with the inhale. Easy exhale. And take another round of breath there. And gently change sides. As you come over to your second side, once the body is positioned, deep breath in, easy breath out. Deep breath in, easy breath out. Take a few more breaths right here. When you're ready, return to center. Draw the knees in. Rock gently. And stretch out in your Shavasana. You might drape the legs over a prop. You may stretch out with the legs straight. Taking care of your body, supporting as needed. Take a deep breath in, squeeze every muscle, and let it go. Take one more breath like that, squeeze, let it all go. And this is a chant that honors the guru, the teacher. It's not only a teacher that you may study with, it's the teachers that show up in the daily events of our lives. It's our inner teacher. It's allowing ourselves to be open, to learn, to be transformed by what we experience. Knowing that although it is about us, it's not all about us individually. Letting go, honoring something greater. Whether that's greater good for humanity, God, nature, Buddha. Whatever you hold dear. Gently deepen the breath. And start to move and stretch the arms and legs. Inhale, take a great big morning stretch. When you're ready, draw one knee, then both knees into the chest, rocking over to one side. Take your time and press up to seated. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the openness of sky above. And bring the palms together. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. May you be happy, healthy, safe, and at ease. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.